As many of you know, in 2012, it became law that every state employee, preferred and executive service, should have a completed performance evaluation. Also in 2012, the SMART formula was implemented, and one of the criteria for SMART is that it should be in alignment with the agency's strategic goals and mission. The purpose of this training is to provide a brief discussion of the job performance plan and its role in the performance evaluation cycle. During the course of this training, we will identify the purpose of the job performance plan, distinguish between job responsibilities and SMART goals, review the procedure steps, and review some examples of SMART goals. The purpose of the job performance plan is to give the employee a clear view of the goals they need to achieve. If the employee understands their goals, they are more likely to achieve them. The performance plan enhances the employee performance through the identification and communication of relevant job responsibilities and expected performance standards. The discussion of the performance plan is a good opportunity to communicate how their job responsibilities relate to the overall agency goals. When an employee knows why they have to carry out certain tasks and what is expected of them, this understanding ultimately enhances their performance. Another important function of the performance plan is to maximize the achievement of the organizational mission and strategic direction. Every employee's performance plan should relate to the overall goals of the agency. That way, every employee will play a part in the agency reaching and achieving its goals. The job duties and responsibilities describe the essential functions of your position. They are not a measurable performance goal. Supervisors, please stress to your employees that they are responsible for their job duties along with the work outcomes on their performance plan. Ensure that they understand that even though a specific job responsibility may not be on their performance plan, it is still required. Job performance plans consist of SMART goals, also known as work outcomes, that are derived from their job duties and responsibilities. The SMART goals should relate to the overall strategic goals of the agency. Next, I will give a brief overview of the procedure steps involved in the performance evaluation process. The performance plan, which you are about to embark on, should consist of realistic goals for the employee to reach within the evaluation cycle. You must discuss the performance plan with the employee and ensure they understand the goals and expectations. The first interim should be a brief, informal discussion of the employee's progress so far. Be sure to acknowledge good work and give suggestions for improvement if needed. Do not only focus on the negative. The second interim should be another brief, informal discussion of the employee's progress from the interim one. Acknowledge employee improvement and/or areas of concern. Again, be sure to provide suggestions on how to best reach their goals. And finally, the annual evaluation should be a formal discussion of the employee's performance throughout the entire cycle. If all of the previous steps were completed, then the employee should already have an idea of what rating they will receive. They should not be surprised by their rating. The most important thing to remember about the performance evaluation process is each of the procedure steps I just discussed must be completed. Each employee should have a discussion of their performance plan, an interim 1 and 2, and a formal annual evaluation. Do not skip a step. I repeat, do not skip a step. Violation of any procedure step is a violation of the law. The best SMART goals provide guidance for the employee and help keep performance focused throughout the evaluation period. SMART goals are meant to be realistic targets for an employee to reach on a regular basis or over the annual cycle. Goals can help you as a supervisor and your employee focus on what matters most for the enhancement of that employee. Remember, all SMART goals should be able to be measured. As you just heard, the performance planning is the first step in the performance management process. In this step, there are some do's and don'ts that you should be aware of. First, you want to make sure you schedule sufficient time for the discussion between you and your employee. Advise the employee when you will be conducting his or her performance planning. Second, always start with a fresh cycle. Try to focus on the future and not the past. Next, each employee's plan should be individualized. You may supervise more than one person within the same classification. However, they can have different work outcomes. When trying to individualize a plan, think of the areas you would like to challenge your employee or your team. For example, you have an employee that needs to increase his or her performance when it comes to entering contact notes. In this example, you would want to set a goal that can be measured that deals with enhancing that employee's ability to enter contact notes. On the other hand, your other employees may not need to be enhanced in that area. Therefore, they may not have that as their goal, but rather something else that enhances them or the team in general. In order to individualize plans, you must know your employees and the areas you would like to improve for them. Next, goals should be mutually established amongst the supervisor, the employee, and the reviewer. The established goals should always add value to the employee and the agency. These goals should be effective. You may include the employee in the establishment of his or her goals. Employees are to assist, but they are not to create their own performance plan. Job descriptions should tie with the goals, but not be the performance plan. For example, one's job description and/or responsibility may be to write reports. Your goal should be to tie that description using the SMART formula. Employees should be made aware that they are responsible for both their job responsibilities and their performance plan. Finally, you should feel comfortable enough to discuss the entire process and expected performance with the employee. This discussion should include each procedural step of the process. The don'ts of performance management are just as important as the do's. First, do not bring up the past in a negative way. If brought up, ensure that it is for improvement purposes only. Next, do not allow the employee to set their own goals. They can assist, but not totally set their own goals. You should work with them in this process. Third, do not set unrealistic goals. Realistic does not mean easy, but it ensures that the employee has the resources to get it done. And finally, this time should not be used as a time to reprimand an employee. In writing your SMART goals, remember that each goal must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time sensitive. Also, when you are writing your goals, think in terms of how you can increase something, make or develop something, improve something, reduce something, or save something. Now let's take a look at some examples of written SMART goals. The first two examples I would like to bring to your attention demonstrates the trickle-down effect. Please be mindful that your goals should be in alignment with the agency's strategic goals and/or the agency's mission, and they are to add value. Please take a couple of minutes to read over example 1 and 2. In the first two examples, you can see the overall goal is to reduce the vacancy rate by 10%, as measured by HR's vacancy rate report. In these examples, two individuals have the same goal of reducing the vacancy rate, but they will reach it in a different manner. In example 1, the HR director will identify the initiative that will be used to reduce the vacancy rate. And in example number 2, the HR manager will implement the initiative. Both can be measured by knowing what the vacancy rate is now and what you would like for it to be. This goal can be monitored by the weekly vacancy report. Take a few moments to read example 3. In example number 3, we have a goal set for a corporal. As you can see by this example, we were specific in what we wanted the corporal to do, which is engage in a minimum of 2 informal or formal coaching sessions with their employees. We also stated when this is to be done, which is during the course of an assigned shift. We stated how he is to do it by providing direct and indirect supervision and by completing all required documents. Take a few moments to read example number 4. In example number 4, we see the term increase used. This example is targeted for a probation parole officer. In this example, we would like to increase the officer offender compliance by an average of 10%. This can be measured by each month's compliance report. Hopefully today, you have gained a better understanding of the purpose of the job performance plan, which is to enhance employee performance and maximize the productivity of the agency. You should now be able to identify the difference between the job performance plan and the job responsibilities. All employees are responsible for the goals set on their job performance plan, as well as their job duties and responsibilities. Remember that all of the procedure steps must be completed. Each employee should have a performance plan, 2 interims, and a formal evaluation. Now that you have a better understanding of how to write SMART goals, please take the time out to construct legitimate and relevant SMART goals for your employees. If you feel you need more training on how to write SMART goals, the Department of Human Resources has several workshops focused specifically on writing good SMART goals. You can find out more information about these courses by following the link below. This evaluation cycle will be more important than years past. Administrative decisions may be based on this cycle, so it is very important that you not just do the performance plan, but you do it with accuracy and in compliance with the law. Please take a moment to review the following upcoming dates. Thank you.